DPK, yo, welcome back to another episode of DPK. I'm ill, so we're gonna do a different type of episode today, which is gonna save you a lot of Maarten, innit, Maarten?
It's gonna save you a lot of Maarten.
Money! We're gonna talk about 5 mistakes, which eventually, hopefully, is gonna save you a lot of money. We looked for mistakes that we really have not yet discussed in our previous videos, hopefully, so you're all gonna learn something new.
Mistake 1. Spending too much money on knives.
Whoa.
Probably you're all gonna do it one day. Let's start off with the 4,500 euro rock set. And this might be the biggest mistake of this whole channel. And we're gonna talk about that after this 1-minute sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Tools for Gents. Christmas is near, the season of cheer. Consider a gift that'll bring up a tear. 4 gems we present for you to assess. A Duke Classic in N690 steel, no less. Japanese design, a package so neat, just 60 euros. A deal that's hard to beat. Wait, knives are restricted, but fear not, my friend. The Alien Razor Fixed, a legal trend. A knife that's a razor, a clever creation for just 40 euros, a perfect foundation. It's just great because it's legal to carry in most places where knives aren't legal to carry, but because it's seen as a straight razor. Yeah? If these don't align with your personal taste, opt for the classic Fixed Fury or the Onyx in haste. Both under 100. A steal of a deal. Head to toolsforgents.com with the code DBKXmas for an amazing good feel. A 20% discount on all that you buy. Order your knives in a blink of an eye. Yeah, and by the way, you get a chance to win this watch when ordering one of these knives. Again, just use our code and upgrade your lives. Merry Christmas.
So luckily I have been able to buy this knife with a discount. Because if I paid 4,500 euros for this knife, I would be in a lot of trouble. The reason being is that it actually did not perform well. I wouldn't mind if it didn't perform as the best knife ever, but actually with only feather sticking, Maarten,
Yeah,
we did something, the tip chipped.
Well, look, it performed well on one particular task, rope cutting.
Rope cutting.
Yeah, it performed really well on that. But then again, is your knife only designed to only cut? It looks like a combat survival knife to me.
Yeah, but I mean, it could not even cut wood, Maarten?
Nee.
Cut wood! And you said nee.
Nee,
Nee. Maarten talks very old-fashioned English. Anyway, I am still very glad. I mean, this is clearly made by very professional and skilled craftsmen. It is just,
it's just art.
It is just too hard. The tip is too thin and too sharp for how hard it is. So when you actually start carving with it, it feels a little bit on you. Think where you live, yeah? One of my favorite knives is the Velknieven TK3. And to be honest, I carry it almost every day. Until lately, where I have been carrying the Victorinox because they are changing the knife laws in the city that I live in. I don't like it, but I cannot help it. So the chances are much higher, and I've known people who this has happened to, that my knife is going to be taken away from me. So then I'm going to carry the Victorinox, and maybe the Victorinox for a lot of people is all they need. But think, before you buy a knife, are you willing to spend all that money for a Velknieven TK3, which is nice, has the better steel, but you cannot use and maybe is going to be taken away from you because of knife laws, yeah? Which we all do not like. Maybe the Victorinox is going to be the one for you. Do you have anything to add to that, Maarten?
Yeah. Why buy a 400 euro knife when you still have yet to learn how to sharpen? When you have to learn how to use a knife?
Ooh,
when you
good one.
have to learn how to make proper feather sticks. These are very good knives to learn how to sharpen, learn how to carve, learn how to make a fire, learn how to do everything. Especially the Mora for sharpening. You cannot really ruin it. I mean, if you ruin it, it's a $10 knife. So that's also a reason, if you're buying your first knife, don't go spending like 200 euros or 400 euros on a very
Just start off with a Mora and learn
the basics.
That stuff, yeah.
Mistake 2. A military knife is not a survival knife.
This was my mistake.
Oh, we go way back. I've made exactly the same mistake.
Mikkie, this is one, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my first knives that I bought. And that was back in the day when I thought steel is just steel. There are not different steels, you have iron, you have steel. So when I bought this knife, this resembled the knife. It doesn't really look like how it used to look, it had a coating. But this knife looked like what Rambo would carry, you know, what the big guys on the TV screens would carry. Yeah. So I bought this knife expecting it to literally cut like this big of a branch in one cut, because I thought this is going to be an amazing knife.
It's basically a K-bar replica.
It's a K-bar replica, and I paid 20 euros for it.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it sucked. Every time we did something with it, the handle just completely bent. I think Mickey's one snapped.
Yeah.
Mine is still just like a relic now. Look, eventually we bought the regular K-bar.
The real deal.
The real deal.
Which did not come with a mirror polish.
No, which did not come with a mirror. But this was like, I bought this knife because I've always wanted it since I bought that knife.
Yeah.
And I actually expected it to perform okay. But what I did not expect was that it performed like really shit.
Yeah. But I think to understand this, we need to understand what is a survival knife.
What is a survival knife? And you would think that if you are in the I would personally think that if you are in the military, you want a survival knife because you're going to use the knife to survive in a jungle, in whatever. But this was what most of the military personnel got, and it's a fighting knife. This knife is made for fighting, it's for stabbing, and as soon as you hit it on, as soon as you do something crazy with it, it just breaks.
I'm going to stand next to you.
You cannot depend your life on this.
What came out of military knives?
Godverdorie.
Tops, Steel Eagle. Tops, Steel Eagle.
Yeah, this one does survive everything you throw it in, and this one just breaks with everything you throw it in.
Yeah, I think where a military knife goes wrong as a survival knife is that a survival knife has to be able to excel in all tasks, in chopping and in carving, and just being that one tool for all. That is a survival knife, and
exactly.
that is where a military knife just completely fails, and most of military knives, because even this, I mean, it can carve, but it doesn't do a great job at carving, and it does a very terrible job at very much fine tasks.
Where I personally, if I would be in the military, I would rather have like a true survival knife that can carve, that can do everything you want with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not aiming to run into a trench and start stabbing everyone.
No, I'm also not really keen to do that, actually. But it also takes us to the next mistake that a lot of people do. Yeah? Boom.
Mistake 3. Buying a survival knife.
Oh my god, controversy. Why is it controversial? Well, that's because I'm hearing a lot of the reasons that a lot of people, also in our comment section, or the people who I see in the streets who talk to me, what I hear them say is that they buy knives for wood carving.
Yeah.
And, you know, just carving all around stuff, just feather sticking, making...
Carving stand pegs.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And then they are buying a survival knife, which... You want a bushcraft knife. You want a knife like the Rocca or a Puko.
And this is actually where true Scandi comes in really handy.
Yeah, and
even a Mora.
Yeah, and I think you have different types of survival knife. Like a Rocca is more... This is Martin's father. So this one is a kind of like made more for carving / survival. And a Feldknieven F1 is made for more all-around stuff.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny because we tell this, yet almost all our favorite knives are more like these all-round knives. Like like the knife that we designed ourselves, the DBK Bushcrafter. It's like...
It's called the Bushcrafter.
It's called the Bushcrafter.
It actually might be more of a survival / hunting knife.
Exactly, but it's because we like to do stuff like betoning a lot. You know, we are not really like the Bushcrafters who carve all the stuff.
So think very good about what you are willing to do with a knife. Is it carving? Then maybe buy more like a bushcraft type of knife instead of a survival type knife.
And talking about survival knives, I would say that if you're just buying knives not to collect them but as for practical use, you might only need one survival knife.
Yeah.
And don't make it too heavy That's maybe, is that the next thing?
Yeah, maybe this is a good, maybe
Don't
this
make
is
it
a
too
good
heavy.
bridge
Oh, this is a bridge.
to the next part.
Oh, don't make it too big.
Mistake 4. Buying a knife way too big.
Oh, jolly, I'm bushcrafting. Don't buy a knife that is too big. I mean, of course, you can buy it because it's fun.
Yeah.
But don't expect, you know, I've heard Ramirez say that he sees a lot of these guys coming to the course with very big knives, like almost like machete-like knives. You know, stuff like this. They come to a bushcraft course using stuff like this. And I would say that even maybe for stuff like that, the A2, if it's your first knife, it's too big.
Way too big.
I bought the A1 as my first knife, and I think that is like the size that you can start using for like everyday things, like most things. But
I wouldn't buy an A1 for your everyday carry.
no. But you know what? Just don't buy a knife too big because, look, you're gonna look like a fool. That's right, you see. You know, a lot of people buy these kinds of knives because they're cool, and that is, of course, okay. You can buy them because they are cool.
Yeah.
But don't buy them and expect great performance in the outdoors.
Yeah, one of the things is hiking. You've been hiking, Maarten. A lot of people think they should buy a big knife for hiking, but could you please inform them?
That is a good point, Mikkie, because I used to go to Norway every year, and I did a lot of hiking there.
Every you're my friend, Maarten.
Every year I went to Norway and did a lot of hiking. And, you know, people say there are two things on this, two sides of the coin, yeah?
Yeah.
If a knife is too big, like this or that, you're just not going to put it in your backpack. You're not gonna go up a mountain with a saw, an axe, and a knife. Very good knives for hiking. I would say a Mora is actually a very good knife. It can take a little bit of batoning. It can do most things.
Yeah.
Maybe you can carry a very small silky saw with you, together. That makes a good combination. What do you think about this? A Jelly or Puko?
Oh my God.
That's all you need, brother.
Yeah, but I think the number one knife that you want with you when hiking maybe is like the Bark River Bushcraft Ultralight.
Yeah.
It is literally an ultralight knife. No, Maarten, I cannot edit this sound out. But I think with hiking you want like the lightest knife that can do it all, because people think you need a survival knife with hiking, but like the opposite is true. Benchmade
Freek. This is one of those knives that you might not want to carry EDC into the city, because the officer in the Netherlands would pick this knife and say, hey, that's a pretty big knife you got there, son. You better give it to me.
And never get it back.
Yeah. But if you are hiking, there is no excuse that this wouldn't be on you or in your backpack. It's light, yet it can baton. We did a test on this. It can withstand anything you throw with it.
Yeah.
That said, my most carried knife in Norway is still the Bark River Aurora, and that is like the size in between. But Mikkie, I agree 100% with you. Like the Bark River Ultralight that we did a video on last time, that is one of the ultimate hiking knives.
Yeah. All these things, also put them into context of where you live. Like if you live in the United States, you know, knives may vary on the cities and the rules of the cities.
If you live in the United States, you go peel an apple, I would say.
Mistake 5. Buying a way too complicated knife.
Things have been simple for thousands of years. Maarten, do you have a Puko? I mean, this is just a traditional Finnish design. It's a rounded handle and a piece of sharpened steel. This is very good for carving, and it is already very comfortable. So why make it...
Crazy good slicer.
Why make it more complicated, especially with the handle? But then, like you have the Benchmade Bushcrafter, which is not a bad knife whatsoever, but they made the blade shape very like square, but also very strange. And to me, this feels not good in the hand.
And that also brings me actually to something I didn't even plan to talk about. I see a lot of YouTubers, this is a big mistake, I see a lot of YouTubers who get famous on knives, with knives, they start designing a knife and they want the knife to be very unique.
Yeah.
And that's why
we made the most dull knife possible.
And it's actually a question we got about the DBK Bushcrafter. Why did we choose like a kind of dull design? Well, because it's actually a really proven design, you know? Most of the people who try something new, 99% of the time, it's a gimmick.
Like the tracker.
Oh nee, Martin, this is literally an episode that I film and everything, and that you just get injured.
Yeah, I chopped the rope really hard, and this knot here just slammed full force on my head.
What the fuck? Wat heb je nou weer gedaan?
Iets super er fucking hard tegen mijn tiet aan. En in mijn gezicht ook nog.
Nee.
Yeah. And I mean, there are a lot of...
We're gonna get some hate. We're gonna get some hate for this.
I know, but I mean, we made a video about the tracker, and you could make a point that we do not know how to use that knife, but just the simple fact that you need to use a knife on a specific way, which you cannot sharpen very easily. I mean, if you cannot sharpen
it's a
a
pain.
knife.
Everybody I spoke to who uses it says it's a pain to sharpen.
I would say that more people run into that problem, and the tracker is actually dangerous in the hands of a mental like you.
Yeah.
I think that all sums it up.
There's one more mistake.
What?
If you bought a knife before trying to win one in our giveaway.
Oh my god, and the chances are so high of winning one because we're giving away so much.
We are giving away the DBK Bushcrafter N2 Club 23 mugs, thanks to DBK. The all-new BPS Bushmate that we designed, 6 out of 6 numbered edition, thanks to BPS. A Falkneven A1 thanks to Knives and Tools. A TRC K1S Plus 2 Duke TFG editions, thanks to Tools for Gents. A Bog River Bravo 1 thanks to Blade HQ. The Civivi Elementum Bundle Lock and Pen Combo thanks to Civivi. And 2 half-breed blades thanks to half-breed. Oh, that's a very giant ass giveaway.
Look for a knife that fits your needs when you're buying a knife this Christmas. Look for a knife that
fits your budget.
Huh? I don't even know what that word is.
Choose a knife that fits your budget. You don't have to spend it all.
No, more is not better.
No.
More is really not better. Choose a knife that also fits with your knife.
A little bit into frame, maybe.
Choose a knife that also fits the knife regulations, and also the definition of a survival knife is not the same as what an actual survival knife is, so also look out for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Martin.
Stay sharp, keep sharp in the mind.
No, I don't want it anymore. You're the trigger, my friend.
Hope you like this video.
See you next week, every Thursday, 1 p.m. BTC.